Over 2,500 years ago, in the foothills of the Himalayas, a prince abandoned a kingdom of gold to find a treasure that could never decay. The Path to Enlightenment. The Journey of Siddhartha Gautama. Chapter 1. The Gilded Cage. In the kingdom of Kapilavastu, Prince Siddhartha lived a life of absolute splendor. His father, King Suddhodana, sought to protect him from the harsh realities of existence by confining him within the high walls of the palace. The prince was surrounded by the finest silks, the most fragrant flowers, and the sweetest music, remaining blissfully unaware of the nature of human suffering. However, the human spirit cannot be contained by walls. During 4 pivotal excursions outside the palace gates, Siddhartha encountered the 4 sights that would change him forever: a frail old man, a person stricken by disease, a lifeless corpse, and a serene wandering ascetic. These encounters shattered his illusions. He realized that wealth and status could not grant immunity to aging, sickness, or death. At the age of 29, driven by a profound existential quest, he abandoned his crown, his inheritance, and his family to seek a solution to the universal sorrow of mankind. Chapter 2. The Struggle of the Ascetic. For 6 years, the former prince lived as a wandering seeker. He mastered the most advanced meditative techniques under the greatest teachers of his time. Yet he found that even the highest states of mental trance did not provide permanent liberation. Believing that the body was an obstacle to spiritual clarity, he turned to extreme asceticism. He practiced rigorous self-mortification, consuming only a single grain of rice a day until his body resembled a living skeleton. However, at the brink of death, he experienced a profound realization while listening to a traveling musician: if the string of the lute is too tight, it will snap; if it is too loose, it will not play. Siddhartha understood that the path to truth lay in the middle way, a balance between sensual indulgence and self-torment. He accepted a bowl of rice milk from a village girl named Sujata, restored his strength, and prepared for his final confrontation with the mind. Chapter 3. The Great Awakening. Siddhartha seated himself beneath the shade of a Bodhi tree on the banks of the Nirvana river. He made a solemn vow: though my skin, sinews, and bones may wither, I shall not rise from this spot until I have attained perfect enlightenment. Throughout that night, he faced the psychological onslaught of Mara, the personification of desire, fear, and ego. Mara unleashed tempests and temptations, but Siddhartha remained as immovable as a mountain. As the morning star rose in the sky, the veil of ignorance was torn asunder. He perceived the chain of cause and effect that binds all beings to the cycle of suffering. At the age of 35, he became the Buddha, the Awakened One. Chapter 4. The Compassionate Teacher. The Buddha spent the remaining 45 years of his life walking across the plains of northern India. His first sermon in the deer park at Sarnath set the wheel of Dharma in motion. He taught the 4 Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, offering a practical roadmap for mental and ethical transformation. His compassion knew no boundaries. He accepted kings and outcasts, scholars and criminals, men and women into his community of followers. He famously humbled the fierce assassin Angulimala and comforted the grieving mother Kisa Gautami. proving that the potential for awakening exists within every human heart. Chapter 5. The Final Passing. At the age of 80, in the quiet forest of Kushinagar, the Buddha prepared for his final departure, even as his physical body succumbed to the frailty of old age. His mind remained perfectly clear and serene. Lying between two sal trees, he gave his final instructions to his grieving disciples. He did not appoint a successor, but instead urged his followers to be self-reliant. His final words remain a beacon for seekers. All conditioned things are subject to decay. Strive for your own liberation with diligence. As the blossoms fell, the great teacher entered parinirvana, leaving behind a legacy of wisdom and peace that continues to illuminate the world over 2.5 millennia later.